"We're cutting you off completely," she said, like she was doing me a favor. The forks paused. Eyes shifted. Even the candle flames looked like they held their breath. I didn't blink, just held my glass, swirling the wine like I already knew what was coming. Then my phone rang. I let it vibrate, once, twice, before answering. "Miss Lydia? Congratulations! Your company just hit 220 million in valuation." The room froze. My father's knife slipped off his plate. My sister choked on her water. I just sipped my wine, slowly, deliberately, and finally looked my mother in the eye. "I accept your decision." They never wanted me, not really. I was the backup daughter, the one with potential as long as I followed their plan. Boarding school at 13, business major at 18, internship at my father's firm by 20. But I wanted different. Tech, design, building something real. They called it childish, said it was a phase, said I'd come crawling back. And when I didn't, they punished me. They pulled the funding, froze my trust, told the family I was unstable. My mother's voice still echoes in my head. "We're not investing in fantasies, Lydia. Grow up." So I did. The betrayal wasn't loud. It was quiet. It was in the way they stopped answering calls, the way they smiled at family dinners and pretended I didn't exist, the way they fed my sister millions while I fought for seed money on my knees. They made sure no one in the circle would touch me, blacklisted me without saying the word. Even my best friend, Rachel, disappeared from my life. I found out months later she had been paid to steer me right. She took the money, left the friendship. That one stung, but I never let it show. I learned not to scream. I learned to watch. I worked out of a basement, ate 2 meals a day, pitched investors who looked at my face before my pitch. But I kept building, kept coding, kept creating. I hired people who had been dismissed like me, too weird, too loud, too ambitious. And slowly we grew. The product worked, the numbers climbed, investors came back. But I remembered the silence, the rejections, the closed doors. So I built my own building, and I named it after the one thing they tried to take from me. My name, Lydia Systems. I waited 3 years before accepting the dinner invitation. My mother called it a family reconciliation. I called it a final performance. They still thought I was broke, that the clean dress, the composed smile, the quiet confidence were borrowed things. They had no idea I owned the patent their company was trying to license. They had no idea the board they were trying to impress already worked with me. They had no idea I had already won. So when she said, "We're cutting you off," it wasn't a punishment, it was the punchline. I had timed it perfectly. Because that call wasn't just news, it was my reckoning. The valuation was real, the numbers were public, and the contracts, signed that morning, would put me ahead of my father's empire in less than 6 months. My sister's fork trembled. My father looked like he was trying to remember how to breathe. And my mother? She blinked. Once, twice, then smiled. Tight. "Lydia, sweetheart." I cut her off. "No need to backtrack. You've made your position clear." She opened her mouth again, and I stood. "I built what you said I couldn't, with nothing, while you tried to make me nothing." No one spoke. I let the silence wrap around them like rope. Then I pulled. "You think you cut me off tonight? Truth is, you lost me years ago. You just didn't notice because you never really looked at me." I left my glass on the table, untouched, walked out, back straight, heart steady. They called the next day, multiple times. Emails, texts, even Rachel sent a message. "So proud of you. Can we talk?" I deleted them all. 2 weeks later, their firm reached out for a meeting. They wanted to license our analytics engine, offered equity. I declined. Then licensed it to their direct competitor. For half the equity, double the reach. I sent the signed contract to my father's assistant with one line. Consider it my official response to your dinner announcement. Revenge doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it walks in wearing a pressed suit and smiles while the empire burns. I didn't raise my voice. I raised my worth. And they taught me everything I needed to win by trying to keep me small. That night at dinner, I watched them lose power without losing their seats. They still sit at their tables, but the world no longer listens. Now, it listens to me.